again to the channel. In today's video, we are going to learn how to make a Princess Bustier gown with yoke. For those of you that ask me how to cut a Princess Bustier with yoke, I'm going to explain everything today. So if you are interested, please continue watching and make sure you watch to the end so you won't miss out of any important information. So guys, with that being said, let's get started. I'm going to start with the upper part, which is the half length. So after cutting the half length, we go over to the down part, which is 180 degrees flay. I'm going to be drafting with this pattern paper so that it will be easy for everybody to see and understand. So I'm going to measure out 17 inches for the half length, and I'll be adding 1 inch here. So 1 inch for joining allowance. So I'm going to measure 18 inches. So guys, this is my shoulder line. From there, I'm going to add my shoulder measurement. The shoulder measurement I'm working with is 16 inches. 16 divided by 2 will give us 8. I'm going to mark 8 inches here. And the neck width is 3 inches. That is the wideness of the neck. I'm going to come down by 1 inch to slope the shoulder because our shoulders are not straight. From there, I'm going to measure my armhole depth. My armhole depth is 8. So to get your armhole depth, you can measure your round armhole and divide by 2. If your round armhole is 16, when you place your tape and measure it, if it's 16, you divide it by 2 to get 8. Or your bust circumference, your round bust circumference, divide by 6. Whatever you get, you add 1.5 inches to that for your armhole depth. So, having gotten the armhole depth, to draw out our armhole curve, I'm going to come here and measure my bust circumference. The bust circumference I'm working with is 38. Divided by 4 is 9.5. 9.5 is here. So I'm going to connect like so. So we are drafting the front part, like I said before. For that reason, I'll take the midpoint of this armhole depth, which is 4. That is 8 divided by 2. And at that point, I'm going to go inward by half an inch for the front armhole. Then I'll draw my armhole curve. So having gotten that, the next step is to add my vertical measurement. From shoulder here to the bust point for this person is 11 inches. 11 inches bust point. Then under bust 14 inches and half length 17 inches. So I'm going to label it now. This is the bust point. This is the under bust. And this is the half length. The next step is to add my bust span. The bust span, that is the distance from one bust to the other. The nipple to nipple point measurement. For this person, the bust span is 7 inches. 7 divided by 2 will give us 3.5. I'll be adding half inch for sewing allowance. So I'm going to be marking 4 inches here. 4 inches. To the under bust, I'm going to mark 3.5. This is for me to get a kind of curvy line for the princess cut. It's optional. If you want, you can just take it 4 inches to the lines if you want. So I'll connect the lines, I'll connect the points like this and like this. So as you can see, this is the shape I want for my princess line. So I'm going to take this line to the armhole curve. Now, where exactly I place this line? To determine where to place this line, I'm going to measure my armhole curve like this. I'll measure my armhole curve and divide by 2. It's as simple as that. So here I have 8.5. So the midpoint of 8.5 is 4.25. 4.25. So I'm going to take this line to that 4.25. I'll be using this ruler to do that. So we'll get a very sharp curve to connect. So guys, this is my princess line. Or for a detailed tutorial on how to draft a Princess Bustier, I will leave the link in the description box. Okay, so if there's anything confusing you in this one, go ahead and watch the other video in the description box for you to get it. Everything is explained there. So for us not to waste too much time, I'm going to go straight to the point. So having gotten the princess line, the next step is to create our dart to form my bustier. So I'll come to the under bust and I'll measure 2 inches. 2 inches for my dart, and to the half length 2 inches. I'll connect the point like so. So I'm going to connect from this bust point to these 2 inches with a curve. But for us to get a very smooth curve that is not pointed, I'm going to come down from the bust point by 1 inch or half inch, and from that point I'll connect with a curve so that it will not be too sharp. So I'm going to connect like this. Can you see? Then I'm going to go up again by 1 inch and put a mark there. So we are going to create a dart here as well. Whatever dart I have here, I'll remove half inch and place the remaining one here. So I have 2 inches here. 2 inches minus half will give us 1.5. So I'm going to place 1.5 inches on this armhole to create my dart here. Okay? So I'm going to share the 1.5 inches on this line, on this princess line. So 0.75 upwards and 0.75 downwards. Alright? So I'm going to measure 0.75 to this point and 0.75 upwards. So altogether 1.5 inches. I hope you understand. I'll connect from this dart to this 1 inch upwards and connect from here to here as well. So having connected the dart point, the next step is to extend this line upwards. The reason is, if you don't extend it, after you join this line to this line, it will not align together. So whatever dart you added here is what you are going to use to extend. So we added 1.5 inches here. I'm going to come here and measure 1.5 inches and mark. So I'll take this line to that point. So I haven't done that. This same 1.5 inches, I'm going to add it up here. I'll measure 1.5 inches. So we are going to draw a new armhole curve like this. So this is the armhole curve we are going to be making use of. So after joining it, this line and this line will match up. It will align together. None will be shorter than the other. Okay? So the next step is to add my circumference measurement. At the bust point, the bust measurement is 38 divided by 4, 9.5. I'll be replacing this 1.5 inches there, and we are going to add 2 inches for sewing allowance. So altogether what I replace here is 3.5. So here I will still add 2 inches sewing allowance and connect. the under bust, my round under bust here is 34. 34 divided by 2 is 8.5. I'll replace these 2 inches here and add 2 inches sewing allowance. So I'm going to be adding extra 4 inches. So I'll connect. I'll extend it to the half length. It's as simple as that. So the next step is to add the neckline. Here the neck width is 3 inches. I'm going to come down for the neck depth by 3.5 inches. 3.5 inches. Then I'll draw my round shape for the neckline. So this is basically the Princess Bustier. I hope you understand. And at this point, if you like this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up so that others can see it as well and watch. I'm going to cut it out and then I'll show you how to add the yoke. So what I'll do now is to join it together like this, and I'm going to sellotape it for us to draw out the yoke. It's as simple as that. So after joining with sellotape, this is what we have. For the yoke, I'm going to come down by 5.5 inches. From here, I'll be measuring 5.5 inches. This is optional. If you want to come down by 5 inches or 4.5, just feel free to do what you want. So I'm going to come down by 5.5 inches, which is here, and mark. So from that point, I'm going to draw a straight line. I'll draw a straight line like this. So if you want a normal sweetheart neck shape, princess sweetheart neckline with yoke, after drawing this line, you are going to come down by 1 inch, 1.5 inches, or even 2 inches, depending on how low you want the yoke to be. Do you understand? So if you want to come down by 1 inch from here and mark. Let me use this pen to explain. You come down by 1 inch here, and then you mark 1 inch or 1.5 depending on what you want, and from that point to draw your sweetheart neck shape like this. Can you see? This side will be the yoke. So you cut like this, and like this. I hope you are following. For this particular style we are working on, I'm going to come here and measure 1 inch, 1 inch, and here I'll measure half inch, 0.5 inch. If you want, you can make here 0.25 inch, depending on how wide you want that point to be. I want my own to be 1 inch space. So you know this place we are going to cut it on fold. That's why I divided the 1 inch by 2 to get 0.5 inch. So here I mark 0.5 inch. By the time you cut it on fold, it will be 1 inch. I hope you are following. So the next step is to connect from this 1 inch here to this 0.5 inch here with a, and the next step is to curve this point. From this line down to this point is now my yoke for this style. So having done that, the next step is to cut it out. 2 inches for the zipper allowance and connect the point. So my shoulder 16, divide by 2, 8, neck width 3 inches, I'll come down by 1 inch for shoulder slope and connect. My armhole depth 8. So I'm going to draw my armhole depth. I'll add my bust circumference 9.5, that is 38 divided by 4. So for the back armhole, I'll just make a curve like this. This is for the back armhole. And the next step is to add my vertical measurement. So before I draw my dart, I'll come here and remove ½ inch to eliminate the zipper bulge at the back side. I'll measure ½ inch here, and I'll come here and measure ½ inch here. So the zipper allowance is not going to be straight anymore. So I'm going to connect like this and connect like this. So can you see, this is my new zipper allowance. It's a kind of slanted, it's not completely straight, so that the zipper at the back side will balance up very well. So having done that, I'm going to draw my dart. Adding that at the back side is still optional. If you want, you skip this part. There's no problem, it will still come out nice. So for that, my bust span is 4 inches. I'll take it ½ inch on both sides. So I'll connect to the bust point. This is the dart for the back side. So having done that, I'll add my circumference measurement. So the neck depth for the back is 1 inch. I'm going to connect. If you want to add yoke at the back side, it's up to you. You must not add yoke at the back side. If you want, just make use of your material. No lace, no nothing, if you want. But I'm going to add yoke at the back side. It means that this part will be lace, while this part will be Ankara, just like the front part. For the yoke, I'm going to come here and measure 5 inches or 5.5. I'll measure 5 inches here. Feel free to do what you want, okay? So from there, I'm going to connect with a curve. So this place is the yoke. So this is what we have. So to cut the yoke, I'll place the lace on fold. I'll add sewing allowance here and here at the shoulder. Remember to add sewing allowance. It is very, very important. So after opening it, this is what we have. So guys, I've cut out my lining and attached my fusible interfacing on the lining. So this is my fabric. I cut out my soft wadding. So you can cut it anyhow you choose to. So this is how I cut mine. The next step is for us to go and join. All right, so I'm going to join this to this and join this to this. I'll be sewing from this down side to this point. Okay, you can pin it if you will make any mistake. The same thing to the lining. This will be joined to this and this will be joined to this. So guys, after sewing the bustier parts, the two of them, this is what I have, and this is the yoke. I had to pad it with a lace lining because the owner does not want it transparent. So if you want, you can do the same thing, or you leave your own transparent. The next step is to join this part to this, and then join this part to this. So guys, after attaching the yoke, this is what we have now. As you can see, this is how it's looking now. The next step is to use the lining to turn. This lining is for this side and this lining is for this side. So how do we go about it? I'm going to simply fold this one inward. Can you see what I'm doing? Then I'll place it like this. So I'll pin. So after pinning, it will look like this. I'll now go over to the machine, stitch like this, and after stitching, I'll turn it like this. So this is how it will look like. So I'll quickly go over to the machine, sew the lining. I'll do the same thing to this one. It's not hard, just place this inside, and place your lining like this and pin or sew. So I'll now go over to the machine to sew the lining, and I'll be right back. So guys, after turning with lining, this is what we have. This is the inside, and then this is the outside. So this is it for the front part, and this is the back side. I've gone ahead to join it together. There's nothing difficult here. I pad the lace because the owner does not want it transparent. That's why you're seeing it like this. But if you want yours to be transparent, there's no need adding this lace lining. I added doll face here. So this is the back side. By the time we cut the down part of the gown and fix it, then we'll complete the whole thing. We'll join the front and back together, and then we'll pipe the neckline. Alright, so this is where we are going to stop today. The next video is going to be the cutting of the down part, 180 degrees flay. Go ahead and give this video a thumbs up if you have not done that already, and subscribe if you have not done that too. Remember to turn your notification bell so that you'll be notified when I upload the other video. So we are through with the half length of the gown. Thank you so much for watching. Till next time, I'll see you again. For now, it is bye bye.